I'm Andrew Phillips and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the motor mount on an electric airsoft gun version 3 gearbox. So let's go ahead and get started. Now some people may ask, what exactly is a version 3 gearbox? Well, a version 3 gearbox in an airsoft gun is you have the gearbox piece that goes inside the receiver area, and normally you have the motor that goes into the pistol grip of the gun itself. On a version 3, the motor is contained inside of a motor mount. Here's an image. Where on a version 2, it has the piece that comes down from the gearbox into the pistol grip, and then the motor is actually sitting loosely inside the pistol grip and can be adjusted by the screw on the bottom. Where on the version 3, you have to slide the pistol grip off and the adjustment screw is actually on the motor mount. But here's a version 2 so you can see what I'm talking about. This is the version 2 right here. So this is pretty much, you have the receiver area here, and then this part here drops into the actual pistol grip, and the motor, and I'll grab a motor here and show you. Here's the motor. That pretty much slides up in there and connects with the gears. And then what you have also is you have the adjustment screw here on the bottom that goes through the actual pistol grip, so you can adjust it up and down, where on the version 3 you've got to do it on the mount itself, so you have to remove the pistol grip. So on this particular video we're dealing with a version 3, and that motor mount on this particular gun I'm working on here, it broke. Sometimes those can be, the metal can be a little bit flimsy, they can crack and break, so we're going to be replacing that. So let's take a look. Version 3 gearboxes are usually on guns like this one here, like this AK-47 replica right here. So I've already removed the screw here from the bottom. We're going to slide this off, see what's going on inside of it, and then I'll show you how we're going to fix that. All right. Let's see here. All right, and here's fragments of, here's our motor and the spring that helps adjust it. And then here's parts of the motor mount that have already broken off, but normally these are mounted right here onto the gearbox. And then you have your motor that sits, let me get that spring off. Your motor sits inside of it like this. And then you have a piece which is still lodged in there, but goes along the bottom, and that's what raises and lowers using this spring to adjust that motor to go into the gearbox. And a lot of times an indication that this mount is broken is if you have a motor that's either running without turning the gearbox and you just hear it spinning, or if you have a grinding noise, because what's happening is the gear here on the motor is sliding away from the gears in the gearbox, and it's just kind of brushing against it and making that grinding noise, which is not good because you don't want to damage the gears. So either way, that's the issue here. So we're going to go ahead and put a new gearbox on, put the motor in, reset it, get everything put back together and test it. So I went ahead and I picked up a replacement motor mount right here, and I'll put along the bottom where I got this in case you want to pick one up. It was only around $12, I believe, to get a replacement, which was the best deal I found. Some other people wanted, you know, 20, 25 bucks. So I found that this was the best deal. So like I said, I'll put along the bottom the company and the price where I got it. But let's go ahead and open this up so we can set the motor in there, get everything adjusted, and then remounted. Here's the new one. And here's the pieces of the old one. You have that piece right here. Then on this side where it has that angled piece, you can see that right there. And I'll get a close-up comparing the two. I have to pull the one piece out of here that's stuck inside, see if we can't get that out. And there it is. So here's the bottom piece. And this is normally right here, the threaded end, where the screw that goes here on the bottom of the pistol grip goes in to pretty much attach the pistol grip to the lower part of the receiver here. So let me get a close up so we can see what we're looking at with all these broken pieces. So these are the pieces that came out, and normally it would go together like that. This piece here connecting, and for whatever reason this was very brittle and cheap metal that just kind of broke apart, I guess, over time. I picked up this particular gun off of eBay, got a very good deal on it in an auction, got it for more than half off, and then it looks like the only cost is going to be $12 to replace this motor mount right here. So if you have a little bit of knowledge of these guns, you can get some good deals online and get a pretty decent gun for a fraction of the cost, and then just put a little bit of time into it to fix it. So I'm going to go ahead and unscrew this bracket so we can load the actual motor into it and then attach it. So we're going to go ahead. These lower screws right here. So we can open this mount. Then this opens. So we're going to load the motor mount in here. You want to make sure though that the spring is in place. Slide that in. Has a groove right here where this clips in. So you want to make sure that that connects properly, like that. And then now the motor is in there, so we can then reattach the screws. Before we completely seal the motor in, you want to make sure that you take this little washer that is used for adjusting the motor, and you want to lay that right in here. There's a little indentation where that can drop in because you need that in there should you need to adjust the motor. And you can see how I have that in place, and then we do have a little screw in there for adjusting. Now we have it all sealed, so we are ready to screw it back together. Drop the screws in. These two screws hold this mount together. These two screws up near the actual gear itself are the screws that are needed to connect this to the actual gearbox. So let me get a different shot, and we'll go ahead and attach this to the gearbox. And when you're attaching this, you have this little lip right here. That goes on the stock side, back this way. So let's go ahead and remove this. And this is how it's going to connect. Now that I have the motor mounted inside the mount, it's connected to the gearbox, we're going to go ahead and connect the power to it. Make sure you put the positive and negative in the right spots. And then before we put the handle on, we're going to go ahead and adjust the motor, because as I mentioned before, you're going to adjust it here as opposed to some airsoft guns where you can adjust it at the bottom of the pistol grip. So let's see here. Oh, wait, that might be good already. Nice. Let's try auto. Very good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the pistol grip back on, put it all together, and we'll try it out. Just finished attaching the pistol grip. Everything is nice and solid on there. So let's try it now. We have it on safety, single shot. Nice. Full auto. Sounds great. The battery is starting to fade a little bit on this thing, so I'm going to have to charge it. But let's go ahead and fire a couple rounds out of it, make sure everything's good. Always make sure to wear safety eye protection when you're shooting BB guns or airsoft guns. Wow. Let's try it in auto. Everything's great. All right, well, that pretty much wraps up this video on how to replace the motor mount on an electric airsoft gun with a version 3 gearbox. I hope this video was informative for you. I hope it helped you out. Please send me any questions, comments. I would love to hear from you. As always, I appreciate all the support. So please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time.